Hi everybody, Shannon Petrovich with Therapist Talks. Adult child of a narcissist or set up to hook up with other narcissists, part 2. Let's finish unpacking the early childhood experiences of a child with a parent with NPD, and then we'll look at how these experiences create a roadmap for life that is deeply flawed and guides you off of many cliffs and into many dark caves. Number 5, since the NPD parent has a sense of entitlement, which means they have unreasonable expectations of others regarding favorable treatment or automatic compliance with their expectations, the child learns to focus on and pay attention to what the NPD parent is feeling, wanting, and needing at all times. The golden child will caretake and cater to that parent constantly, trying to make and keep them happy. And they grow up to think this is normal. They also walk on eggshells trying not to set them off and feel it's their fault if they are set off, since the NPD parent will always blame them if they do explode, listing some fault or mistake or as the reason that they're angry. The scapegoat child does the opposite. They throw a grenade in the room to set off the NPD parent, likely to feel some sense of control over something. Since they don't walk on eggshells and they don't cater to the NPD parent, they'll often be blamed for all the family's problems. Over time, everyone thinks that if they would just behave, all would be well. But again, the scapegoat is simply the truth teller. They are bringing out the reality of the delusionary world of the NPD. As an adult, the golden child will be prone to run on a set of beliefs that making everyone else happy is the goal of all their relationships. They will have no idea how to set boundaries or to see entitlement as the disrespect and abuse that it really is. They are truly set up to connect with and accept the behavior of a narcissist and other abusive people. They will cater to and feel guilty for doing anything for themselves. The scapegoat will often continue their rebellion against all authority figures in their lives, and they'll fight all who get in their way. This projection makes it impossible for them to succeed at a job or relationship until they realize they don't have to fight with and defend against everyone in the world, only the NPD parent they've internalized within. When they reclaim themselves and their lives, they can often function very well. In addition, entitlement is one of the qualities that the scapegoat may reject in their parent while fully embracing it for themselves. When this happens, the scapegoat is at risk for becoming the next generation NPD. The other parent sees this child as turning out just like your father or mother and often feels abused by and infuriated by this child. The adult child who is the scapegoat and entitled will often express it in rageful, demanding, and childish ways. They refuse to adult and will often create situations where others in the family have to pay attention to their needs and wants, or they will make everyone miserable, just like the NPD parent does. Number 6, because the NPD parent is interpersonally exploitative, which means they take advantage of others to achieve their own ends, the child feels used for the parent's needs or wants. This can happen in any number of ways, and the severity of the use or abuse will have different levels of impact. As an adult, this sets them up for thinking that they are only there for others' use and abuse, and they will believe on a deep level that they deserve or don't have the right to refuse any use or abuse. This often plays out in terrible ways for adolescents and young adults as they begin to form relationships based on these extremely faulty premises. Adolescents who lack boundaries fall into abusive relationships. They're used and abused and exploited, and they don't see or react the way they would had they not grown up with this type of normalization in the home. Number 7, because the parent with NPD lacks empathy, which means they're unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others, the child's feelings are ignored at best and often ridiculed or shamed. Any emotion from anyone in the family is annoying or an inconvenience to the NPD, and it will summarily be shut down by any means. These children are taught early not to feel, as it truly gets them nothing but heartache. They're put down, laughed at, told to shut up or knock it off, or I'll give you something to cry about. These beratings are internalized, and the adult child tends to shame themselves for having emotions, so much so that anxiety and depression are common. They have no permission to feel what they are feeling, so when they feel a normal upset, the shame of that feeling creates more upset and more shame and more upset, and we call that a shame spiral. This is often experienced as a panic attack or anxiety attack. Number 8, because the NPD parent is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of them, the child has a lot of confusion over this complete focus on keeping up with the others. For some, this drives them to be better than and to follow the same superficial pursuits, which leads to the emptiness of that superficiality. They experience anxiety and depression as adults since they have no sense of self or sense of meaning or purpose. For others, they decide early they cannot and will not try to compete, so they relegate themselves to a world where they can feel some sense of belonging or caring, which can even be a drug crowd or a gang. And finally, number 9, because the NPD parent shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes, the child stands back and watches what this is that gets attention. They will either choose that defense mechanism or they will choose the opposite. As an adult, they will struggle to find a deeper and more solid sense of self or any sense of meaning and purpose. They will see others with false facades as normal and they'll gravitate to them. They, in a sense, know how to handle those people and they'll put them on that familiar pedestal. They will see them as awesome and amazing just because they said they were. Of course, the NPDs in the world will love this adult child of an NPD parent as they're providing perfect supply for their needs and wants. And whereas another person may see that person as fake, the adult child of an NPD parent will see this as normal. Being raised by a parent with NPD sets in motion a lot of internal dysfunction. You can recover and move forward with a completely different set of internal beliefs and strategies. My next video will focus on these steps to recovering from being an adult child of narcissistic parents. If you've appreciated this video, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment if you feel like it below, and I'll talk to you again soon.